What's up, YouTube? It's Morgan, also known as Jew, and this week, as a Lions fan, I'm going to be reacting to the highlights from this week's game against the Commanders. I did get to watch most of it, but I just wanted to give my thoughts during different portions of the game. So I'm gonna go and do it right here. Let's watch. If it'll load. Of course, when I'm trying to start. Okay, there we go. All right, so this was, I believe, yeah, this is Amon-Ra just being Amon-Ra. I will say I don't know what clicked during the last few weeks of last season, but whatever clicked for Amon-Ra shows that he's just an outstanding receiver. I mean, he just finds the ball. I don't know what it is. Once we have Jameson Williams back, I think we have one of the sneakiest receiving cores in the league. Also, I don't know why we got rid of Riley Patterson. I don't know what was wrong with him kicking, but Seibert's good. Okay, so I will say, in the first half at least, the Lions got so much pressure on Wentz. And I think Hutchinson getting hurt in the second half hurt it a lot, but they were getting so much pressure. Hutchinson had 3 sacks, and he barely could play the second half. Charles Harris got a sack. I don't remember who the other sack was to. Okwara got 5 pressures, but they were all pressuring him really, really well. And in the second half, that's what made this more competitive. Why is it whenever I stop it and start it, it's just when it decides to, yeah. Curtis Samuel's a beast, though. He was killing us. DeAndre Swift. I have a love-hate relationship with him because Georgia, but also Lions. Same with Stafford, but he's just so good. And our O-line is, everybody tells me the Lions have a pretty crap O-line. And, sorry for the ad. They tell me that the Lions have just such a bad O-line. And I'm like, how? I think this year we have the #1 rushing offense in the league. Goff just, he's going to be good enough to give us to a mediocre team, but he's not going to be the long-term solution, sadly. But I'm starting to, not hate Goff as much. He's doing a lot better. He's making a lot better decisions, and he's somewhat hitting his spots. Look how much time we have. It's he just didn't want to get sacked, but he had so much time. The O-line has been so good. This was a safety. Charles Harris, God, our defensive pressure has been so much better this year. So much better. Could have been a touchdown. That really could have been a touchdown, but I mean, it worked out in the long run because, I mean, if you haven't seen it, you'll see. But I'm curious if we sold out that game because I know we sold out the first game, but I'm curious if they sold it out again. He's got so much speed. Khalif Raymond is such a good return man for us. It's Devin Duvernay is probably the best return man in the league, but Khalif Raymond has got to be up there for sure. This was just a beautiful fucking play by Jared Goff. Yeah, it's to Amon-Ra, and Amon-Ra's the best receiver we have, but that was just all around just a beautiful play. The scramble out, off balance throw right into Amon-Ra's hands. Yeah, Wentz in the first half just didn't have time to throw. So, Jared Goff's a solid quarterback. He's better than a lot of people you would get. He just gets so much hate because, one, he, couldn't do anything on the Rams. But he's not a bad quarterback by any means. He's better than Carson Wentz. Yeah, like what the stat they just said, like it's the second quarter, they have 20 yards of offense and no first downs. That's how much they can do. So much pressure. They got so much pressure to them, it screwed them up. DeAndre Swift. I think it's so crazy that a year after being one of the worst teams in the league, we have the number one rushing offense through 2 games. And it's not even like we just have like a Derrick Henry type guy. Like Swift is top tier running back in the league, but the fact that we're also doing it by committee with Jamal Williams and Craig Reynolds is absurd. Jamal Williams is so good. Yeah, on that play, it looked like Reynolds didn't even know he was going to get the ball. As a fantasy owner, this made me mad because I have Jamal Williams, but as a Lions fan, I was so happy. I was so happy. I remember the Josh Reynolds breakout game was okay. Actually, I'll let this play. I was going to do it. So the Josh Reynolds breakout game was against the Bears last year on Thanksgiving. He hadn't really done much. He got signed from like Tennessee's practice squad, I'm pretty sure, or he barely played there. But he he did so well that game. I was like, who is this guy? Should I pick him up in fantasy? Like he looks really solid. He didn't do much for the rest of the season, but it showed the potential. He's just a big receiver who can get the ball. It's completely different to Amon-Ra because Amon-Ra is like a relatively small receiver. But like, look at that little toe drag right there. Beautiful, beautiful. Mwah. That was their first down of the game. Jahan Dotson looked really, really good. He's going to be a special receiver. That's for sure. Great pressure. Beautiful pressure. Dan Campbell has made me excited to watch Lions games again. Like, see, that was just one of those. It's like, it's triple coverage. Why are you throwing that? Like, that's what Jared Goff like pisses me off. Is like he'll make decisions like that. Hutch again. Hutch has me so excited. This was just a beautiful pass. Like, see, this is what the difference was. When he had time, he could, and also Okudah had gotten hurt a little bit, but Okudah looks really, really good. Like, he finally can play. He got injured again, but he came back and played. But Wentz played, like, the second half, Wentz played a really, really good ball game. And Curtis Samuel with a touchdown, but Curtis Samuel's really good. The Commanders have pieces. They're not an awful team. They didn't have Chase Young, which really, really hurt, honestly. And I think that's what helped us with the pass game. But yeah. I don't know what they figured out in the second half, but they just figured it out. There were a lot of balls that went through that should have been picked that we didn't. We're lucky the one we get. He didn't even look like upset. He's just like, I just did that. Okay. And then just like kind of walked off. He didn't have one of those where he's just shaking his head. He didn't have any of that. He just kind of like was like, okay. Amon-Ra. He's just so reliable. He's got such soft hands. Hawkinson had a really, really bad game. Like, he just couldn't catch the ball. I don't know what it was. Boom. God, that was it was slightly underthrown, but it's still a beautiful ball. Like, that's I really don't know like why the Colts got rid of him. It's like he's much better than Matt Ryan, honestly. Because Matt Ryan does not look good in Indianapolis right now. Because, like, if anything, I know this is completely unrelated. Great pass, but also. But I know it's completely unrelated, but the Colts made their roster better, yet they're playing a lot worse. And I don't know, I haven't seen any of the games, but looking at stats, Matt Ryan I don't know why I think he wants to throw the ball too much because that's what he's so used to. But at least from Atlanta, that's why he has so many passing yards in his career. He's a great passer, but I think with the few opportunities that he gets in that offense, because they're a very run-heavy offense with Jonathan Taylor, I think that it causes him at least to speed up his throws, and he's speeding up his decisions. He's not making smart decisions. I'll have to go back and look at him, and maybe that'll be something I react to, like Matt Ryan this year. But that's what it at least looks like to me. I'll go back to this game, but it's an interesting case. It's like, how do you lose 24-0 to the Jaguars? Ron Rivera's 2-point conversions, they were interesting. This one was the correct call, but the second one was an interesting call. Amon-Ra just has these runs. It's just like he had one of these when I went to a Lions-Falcons game. He had one of those. They find really sneaky ways to get him involved, but they know he's your best playmaker. It's like one of those cases where it's like, oh, like a high school receiver is your best playmaker. Just hand the ball off to him, pass it to him, find a way. Swift has such good vision and he's such a shifty back. A normal running back wouldn't get the touchdown out of that. They would have just taken themselves staying down. But he found a way to just maneuver himself into the end zone. DeAndre Swift was hurt and slightly hurt still. He still had limited snaps, but he's such a good back. This was such a good play design. I remember watching that. Why are there so many ads on NFL videos? I don't get it. Don't mind the political ads, but, Why am I getting two 15-second unskippable ads back to back? That's the second time. That's crazy. They had one of these trick plays that they tried to do where Wentz I don't even know what Wentz threw. The guy was open, but he just went so far to the right. I didn't get what the pass was. Gibby. Antonio Gibson. He's just so funny to me because of my friend group. My friend said one year he was going to be a fantasy league winner last year, and he just... See, I don't know what Hawkinson couldn't do this game, but that was his only that was his second catch, and the only 2 catches he had the entire game. Brock Wright. Yeah, Goff just could sling it this game. I don't know what he was on, but he could just sling it this game. Yeah, see, Wentz can make good moves. And it's I think he's just... So I heard someone say it. I think Wentz is just a mid-tier quarterback who, at the beginning of his career, played up to his potential. He just played up to his potential. Now he's just mid again. He's making great plays to get the first downs, and he's also slinging the ball great in the second half. And also, Jahan Dotson made a hell of a grab. But this is what sold the game for them. That's incredible. He just missed. And Amon-Ra. Oh, I was so shocked this fourth down play. I was so shocked that this wasn't like, or that, yeah, that he didn't catch that. But it was just a great play from the, was it whoever that corner was? I don't remember who he was. Fuller. Yeah, he made some great plays. They got some. Washington has some sneaky pieces. Yeah, that was more signs of them getting the pressure. But like Hutchinson was literally limping the entire second half. Yeah, and that's pretty much that's the entire game. But so the Lions just have some great pieces. Um, I think this is a great step in the right direction. Hutchinson is going to be an extremely special pass rusher when he's not limping throughout the entire half. Because imagine if he didn't limp that entire half, he would have had maybe 4 or 5 sacks. But because of that injury, it caused him to stop. All right, I'm gonna end the video there. Thank you so much for watching. If any sports related content interests you that you would like me to react to talk about, please link it down in the description. Please like, subscribe. I'm out. Peace.